What's up, good people? I'm just Major. This is the weekend. So, I got a lot to talk about today. This for the week. A lot went on this week. So, we'll go ahead and get right into it. Starting off the week, Microsoft. They won they got over one of their hurdles with the EU, European Union, and their deal trying to buy Activision. So, at first, about a month ago, the UK vetoed the buyout for Activision, and pretty much been a competition issue. And right now, the EU, as of Monday, the EU decided to allow Microsoft to buy Activision, and this is a $69 billion deal. But I hear that they're going to have some issues still, or some hurdles still rather, with the American part of it, or the FTC's, hand, as far as making decisions on if they'll allow the deal to go through, or if they'll, have them, pretty much stay on course with the deal. But yeah, as of right now, Microsoft has completed their buyout of Activision, and the deal was $69 billion. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, man, they are asking for one company to Arc Automotive. They're asking them to recall, or demanding rather, that they recall 67 million airbag inflators, saying that they can be potentially harmful or fatal, and also saying that there's like a metal piece that ends up, springing out when the airbags deflate. But Arc Automotive is saying that that's not the case. They've tested their products and their components time and time again, and they don't have any issues with them. The issues that did happen were pretty much like some outlier issues with, I think, a fatality or some injuries. But yeah, Arc Automotive is denying the claim that their airbags are, causing injuries or potentially fatal. But so Arc Automotive is not recalling any of their products right now. So we'll see how that goes. Google, their co-founder Sergey Brin ended up gifting $600 million worth of Google shares to someone or someone's or someone's or something or some things. And it ended up happening, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, pretty much right around the time that Google's stock ended up exploding. And their market cap ended up going up, I think, like $18 billion in just 1 week. Now, I know at one point earlier in the year, a few months ago, Google stock hit a low of like $81, but they're right now trading at around 120. So, man, they're already close to a 50% increase from their low, from a couple of months ago. But somebody's getting rich. So yeah, $600 million, to someone, and they're gifting it. But we'll see if there's any more information on it. And right now they're saying that no one knows who the person or persons or entity is that the co-founder ended up giving the shares to. Also, FTC. Now, FTC is suing Amgen. Big Pharma's in trouble. FTC is suing Amgen over their potential buyout of Horizon Therapeutics. And now this will be a $28 billion deal. Now the FTC is saying pretty much they're suing because they're having concerns over competition. Now, I understand competition, I understand monopoly, but if they're that concerned about competition, maybe the FTC can, look into either funding themselves or someone else funding, companies where, competition wouldn't be, competition would benefit the smaller companies. So but we'll see how it goes. And Pfizer is in talks or in discussions or halfway through a deal or something like that for buying, was it, yeah, CGen. Now that deal is $43 billion. I haven't heard anybody talking about, Pfizer being sued. Now Pfizer's been around for a long time. I don't know if they've been around longer than Amgen, but yeah, talking about, yeah, so I don't hear anybody talking about suing Pfizer for their deal over CGen, and that deal is almost twice as large as the deal with Amgen and Horizon Therapeutics. So yeah, Wednesday, Target is having issues with their stores. They're suffering the same fate as Walmart, and pretty much the main issue is theft. Now Walmart ended up closing, well, this year alone, like 27 stores, and they're probably going to end up closing some more. So I think 8 of those stores are in Illinois, and then 4 of the Walmart stores were in Chicago. Chicago is almost like a third world country right now. But yeah, they're having some serious issues in Chicago, and it looks like it's not getting any better. It's pretty much out of control at this point. So, but yeah, it looks like Target is going to end up suffering somewhat of the same fate as Walmart. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about store closings for Target, not yet. But this year, their CEO just mentioned that this year they are on track to lose $500 million, and mostly due to theft. $500 million. So we're nearly halfway through the year. So that means they've already lost close to 250 million. Man, almost $250 million this year. And get this, last year they ended up losing $700 million. Man, you're talking about in a 2-year span, you're $1.2 billion in losses. Man, nearly $1.5 billion in losses due to theft. Target, I don't know what you guys got to do. I don't know if these guys are still on the defund the police thing, but you have to get some law enforcement in there to do something, man. I mean, 1 or 2 every 4 or 5 hours. I think I checked the Target over in my area. You're open 15 hours a day. Maybe some of your major stores across the country, you can have 1 or 2 law enforcement, or maybe 10 hours a day or 5 hours a day during your prime time. Figure out, I don't know what hours your theft situations are going on for the most part or primarily. And man, y'all need to fix it, man, because you already got Walmart's closing. Amazon can't buy all these stores and all these buildings and all these malls and turning them into shipping facilities. So, man, you guys might want to figure something out. But yeah, almost $1.5 billion in losses in a 2-year span. Man, that's enough to close a store down or start closing some stores down. So yeah, I wish you guys really would figure it out. San Francisco. So San Francisco is probably, or California rather, is probably leading the way in city office space vacancies. Excuse me. So a San Francisco high rise is on sale, and it's on sale for $65 billion. Now the thing about it is, 3 years ago in 2020, that same high rise in San Francisco was on sale for $250 million. Now it's on sale for $65 million. That's nearly a 75% drawdown. Man, 75% city office space. So I don't know who's buying it. I think there's a company that's buying it. Let me see if I don't have their name on here, but they'll probably end up converting it to condos or something like that. But yeah, 250 million down to 65 million. Man, the pandemic has really done a number on the way people are working nowadays. And I can understand it. And, people, they just don't want to be away from home now that they've gotten a taste of it. And they don't want to be crowded around people and micromanaged. So I get it. I truly get it. So, yeah, it's a really big deal right now with city office space, and California isn't the only one. So California, I think vacancy rates might be somewhere around 60%, but Texas is getting hit pretty big as well with vacancies. Well, I think Houston and Dallas are pretty much the main ones getting hit in Texas. And I think they're at minimum 50% vacancy rate in some of these office buildings in Texas. Man. Netflix. And Netflix is on the move. Remember a year or two ago when, man, Netflix was on a verge of going under, man, and they righted the ship. And right now they're up 10%. Well, they were up 10% as of, what was that, Thursday. And yeah, pretty much after announcing that they have 5 million active monthly users on their platform. And these users in particular are using the platform where they're streaming ads. So yeah, I didn't know Netflix had a service where they're able to stream ads. So, but yeah, I guess maybe I've been out of the loop a little bit on Netflix. But yeah, Netflix, man, they're 5 million active users on a monthly basis using their platform where they're streaming ads. So maybe this is something new with Netflix and their ad campaign or their ad tier. But way to go, Netflix. Palantir is up pretty much 15% on Thursday as well, and on the basis that Kathy Woods and her investment company ARK Investments bought, I think, 1.5 or nearly 1.5 million shares. So I'm not sure what information or news was out there that had Kathy Woods to buy the tech company or the software company. Well, yeah, software and tech. But yeah, Kathy Woods, 1.5 million shares on Palantir Technologies. So be on the lookout for them. So maybe they're moving up in the right direction. And man, Hyundai, Kia, they ended up selling a $200 million lawsuit after, man, this is wild. And this isn't the first one I've seen. So they settled a class action lawsuit where a video on TikTok went viral pretty much, showing people how to steal Hyundai and Kia vehicles. Now, I've seen videos on YouTube where they show how easy it is for people to steal Chargers and Challengers. I ain't seen nobody suing Dodge or Dodge paying any lawsuits unless I'm just unaware of it. But yeah, so, and this one in particular with Kias and Hyundai, they're not for the push button startup cars. So they are pretty much for the vehicles that you use a steel key for, and you're just pretty much putting them in the ignition and turning them. So these are from 2011 to 2022 models, and man, yeah. So Hyundai is paying for insurance going up on these out-of-pocket fees that people have spent on theft because of their easy to steal, or they have been easy to steal. But yeah, and let's see, yeah, so 2011 through 2022 models on Hyundai and Kia vehicles. So we'll see if there's any more information or news going on about that. And last but not least, Foot Locker. Man, Foot Locker, I did a piece on them a couple of months ago, and Foot Locker is pretty much going through a rebranding, restructuring, and they're closing a lot of stores where they're inside of malls. So they're pretty much just focusing on the standalone stores, maybe the ones that are in, outlet malls or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. And Foot Locker ended up tanking 30% after they ended up tanking 30% on Friday after they reported earnings. And what happened was they ended up slashing or cutting deeply their sales outlook for the rest of the year. So now, yeah, so sales outlook for the stores that are the same stores that are still on the line or pretty much still around today, they're going to end up. The CEO is saying that they're going to end up seeing a 10% drawdown on these stores, as far as sales is concerned. Now, I was reading that Foot Locker hasn't had anything more than a 6% drawdown since 2010. So yeah, so maybe Foot Locker will kind of pick it up. I know they had an issue a year or two ago with Nike, I think, pulling out of stores or pulling out a bulk of their products out of stores, or maybe a bulk of their shoes out of stores, but I don't know. So footwear is going through some things. Foot Locker, Adidas, going through their thing. Of course, they're split up with Yeezy and his brand, and then they're split up with Beyonce and her brand. So yeah, Adidas is pretty much going through the ringer. Footwear is pretty much going through the ringer, it seems. Nobody's talking about Reebok though. I don't know. That's another time. That's another story. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today, man. I'll be back with you guys next week. We'll talk about it, and that'll be Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, man, I'll still be here, still be around, and that's it for today. That's it for today. That's the weekend. I'm out.